Right, Chris, good to see you. Let's talk about your last video. I've seen your video about Eco-Race. What happened in there? Why did it suddenly end?
AJ, there's empty glasses here, man. You need to,
I'm just about to get to that
if
point.
you want me to get talking, you've got to give me some drink. And this is special beer, isn't it? This is,
Yes.
what is this now?
This is a low carb beer, basically.
Excellent, because we're in training.
Yes, we are basically in training, so we are going low calorie and low carb.
Low calorie lager.
Low calorie lager, this is it. So let's go back to your last film.
Okay, that's not terrible.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good, to be fair. So coming back to your last video, it finished quite quickly. It just kind of cut out. Just walk us through it. What happened in there?
So, the first day as you watching the film, had a mechanical problem. We couldn't get it sorted out that evening, and not perfectly. So, the clutch was still leaking, and within 2 hours of getting into it, the clutch didn't work. We had no clutch. And trying to do a 750, 800k day, whatever it was, with no working clutch in the dunes, it's pretty hard on the rider and the bike. And you really miss that control going over the top of the dune. And you normally put in the clutch, have a look around, put the power back in and drop in. So without a clutch, you're just constantly moving, not knowing what's over the edge. And quite a lot of times you drop it or stall it or whatever, and then obviously you have to keep starting the bike in gear, in the sand, which kind of put a lot of strain on the engine. With all this going on and just trying to get to the end, I didn't stop and start the GoPro. That disappeared. The whole filming thing was like, I just want to get to the end of today. And unfortunately on that one, about 25-30k to the end in the dunes, we've been sent the wrong way, so going up the steep backs. The bike just died. And I just thought it was a flat battery, so obviously phoned up, spent the night in the dunes. Very beautiful, by the way, when you're looking up there, and just you've never seen stars like that. So amazing. It's not scary or anything, it's just beautifully peaceful. So of course the big MAN comes and picks you up, get back to the bivvy, and we tried jump starting it and doing everything we needed to do, but it was totally seized. We found out when we got home, we took it all apart, that one of the pistons actually had a chunk missing from the, is it the skirt?
Yes.
Yeah, the skirt.
Yes, I'm okay.
Yeah. So there's a piece missing, and that was the end of that.
So not very successful that time.
Not really, no. Seems to have a problem with the 2 week long rallies. The week ones I fly through, no problem. I've done like 2 rallies back to back, each to replicate 2 weeks, everything's fine. But as soon as I get to the big events of the 2 weeks, luck is not on my side. There's always something that goes wrong.
So 2 weeks events have proven a bit challenging. So
yeah, so I need to finish one.
So what's the plan now? You planning to go back to Eco-Race, or is there any event?
Absolutely, yeah. There's something very magical and very, for me, great about being able to ride a twin cylinder in a 2 week desert race.
So if you're going back, we obviously kind of got the hint of what bike you're going to be using.
Yeah. 950. Because it's what I have and it's what I know, and it's a good bike.
Oh, we all know, obviously we both ran the same bike, so we know.
Yeah, they're not without fault. What bike isn't? But yeah, they just handle really well, and I love riding a big bike. I just think for the majority of the riding, it's an easier bike to ride.
So next year you're going to be 50, obviously.
Yeah.
Big round number.
Thank you.
So when is the plan to go back?
Plan is next year. It's been postponed till March, so we'll start in March, hopefully. And yeah, I'll be Mahle Moto again, twin cylinder again, and as you say, I'll be 50, so I'll be veteran as well. So yeah, it's been pretty special.
Well, I suppose that gives me some room to maneuver, because I'm going to be in a different class if I go. So.
Yeah.
Are you going to be going with someone from Heavy Enduro Racing, or are you going to be going on your own, or what's the plan with that?
Okay, so we have a guy called Andy Wilson who's been racing with us before. He came to the Touareg with us, and I was actually service for that one with him. and yeah, he has been training big time, as much as he can. He's got a 701 Husky with full Aurora kit on it. He's just had some custom water tanks. It looks fantastic, and he's really gelling with that bike. But he'll be full assistance, and you know, he wants to finish. He'd rather someone looked after the mechanics for him, which is fine and great. And you know, I think he's going to do really well. So, but at the minute, we're not sure if we're going to have a heavy enduro service team or not. It depends if we can have more riders, who's coming, who's not. At the minute, it's just me and Andy, and maybe yourself. So we'll just see how things go near the time. Obviously, with coronavirus and people have financial difficulties, it's all a bit weird at the minute. People can't really commit. So we'll just see how things pan out.
Yeah, it seems like last year was a bit difficult for everyone, so it's a bit difficult to actually judge when things are going to happen, if they're going to happen. And you know yourself, this year we're supposed to do a couple of things, but it's kind of been put back slightly.
Supposed to be Albania next, but that's not going to happen.
Yes, it doesn't look very promising at the moment.
No.
I can.
No, I
say
think it'd be safe to say that anything this year won't be happening, which is why I think Eco is the most sensible thing to be looking forward to and aiming at. Yeah, so you know, if we do have the riders, obviously we have the support drivers, we have the vehicles, we have medics, we have all sorts of things, mechanics. We've got a young lad from our local KTM shop who's dying to come along and do the spanner. He does all the spanner works on my bike, engine work, and helps me out. He's great. He's very knowledgeable. So yeah, we've got it all there. It's just depending on who wants to come.
Now that you're going back to Eco Race in March, is there any big worries? Anything that you're particularly worried about?
Mauritania. Really, never been there, never got there. I've just been told all the stories, I've seen all the videos, and it is 2 special stages of very, very soft sand. It's just really hard to get any rhythm because you just go over the bars randomly. I did some racing in Tunisia and Algeria, so I kind of know what that means, that you're riding around, all of a sudden the bike just gets swallowed and you're over the bars and you kind of wake up going, what was that about? And Mauritania will be like that all day.
Sounds fun.
You know, and you'll see a dune and think, oh yeah, I'm going to go over a dune, but it's so soft that you just kind of plough into it and go over the bars. And yeah, that's kind of the hardest thing, I think, for me, especially on a big bike, and that's when picking that thing up and learning to pick it up and being able to pick it up lots of times and not get dehydrated is really important.
Well, let's hope that you're going to finish the 2-week rally.
Of course.
And
I'm dying. Low calorie beer, it's killing me.
now, seriously, let's hope you're going to get there in March, finish the rally, get to where you want to be, and actually beat it. Because, as you said, the last time you went, it didn't really happen. So hopefully, things are going to change slightly, and you're going to get to where you want to get.
I think so, and I've had a lot more time to prepare. A lot more time to prepare the bike myself, understand a lot more things, so a lot more preparation. Yeah, no shortcuts. You can't go to these things with anything not finished or not right, or it's got to be, everything's got to be right. You know, it's hard. So yeah, I've learnt a lot, and there's, well, as you know, a lot of modifications to the bike, which we'll go through in another video. To try and make my life easier and keep the bike running and keep it cool and make sure it gets to the end. So, yeah.
On that note, I wish you all the best, mate.
And you?
And I'll speak to you again.